what's up everybody? Welcome back to another episode of B is for Build. In today's episode, we're in a hotel 2 hours east of Portland. We're kicking off the road trip, 1,000-mile road trip from Portland to Las Vegas in our SEMA build to arrive before SEMA. The reason we're starting in a hotel room 2 hours east is last night, a lot of things went awry. After we wrapped up that last episode, went straight home, took a little nap, and got on the road. And then we immediately ran into problems, which I'll tell you guys later in this episode, which dragged it out till about like 11 p.m. We got the car fixed, and it was totally dark. I couldn't film anything for you guys. And we just bombed it as far as we could before we had to go to sleep, which is right here. So let's go ahead and get our morning started. We gotta get in the car. We gotta try and cover at least 800 or 900 miles today. So let's get to it.
Thank you. No problem. You have a good one.
Woohoo! That back looks too plain. Yeah. And so we did about 120 miles, give or take, yesterday, and the quick walk around. Obviously, it's dirty. We had to drive through the rain. It's a bummer, but oh well. No leaking in the car, no crazy condensation. Hit a few bumps, bottomed out on the suspension a few times, but the flares are still on there and not broken into bits. Still a beauty. All right, I'm feeling good about the walk around. Now we gotta get driving.
I don't know my geography around here very well, and I know there was gonna be mountain passes, but I had no idea we were gonna be running into snow. It's hard to see, but it's actually snowing right now. It's October. I never would have thought this would be happening.
Well, we made it over one snowy mountain pass. Now, this being a classic car, we do have a decent amount of road noise. A lot of it's coming from underneath, which is stuff we can continue to work on. Wind noise is manageable, but hopefully you guys can hear me okay. So now that we're on the road, I wanted to explain what happened yesterday. It was such a catastrophe. So we get in the car and we start driving out of town, and it's cold outside. It's like 40-50 degrees outside or something like that, and we go to turn on the heater, and I realize like all the buttons are dark and the heater's not doing anything. The climate control section of the infotainment center is totally off. So I thought two things. One is our crazy hacked circuit board just totally quit its life, because we had tested this inside the shop and it worked. So I thought, all right, that thing's, it's either dead, or I asked Oscar to route a USB cable into my glove box so I could load files onto the infotainment center, and I thought maybe he forgot a plug. So either way, I was like, all right, we gotta fix this, because we can't be driving in these cold conditions for that long with no heater in this car. And how stupid is it to do the body swap to have all the modern stuff and then have the modern stuff not work, right? So I figured there's two options. One, go to the shop and try and fix it. Two, go to the shop and steal the one out of Oscar's car. One thing that's really important to note though, is that the start button is part of that circuit board. So if I fried this circuit board in this car and I couldn't get the one out of Oscar's car, we can't drive to SEMA. We just wouldn't make it. So that was in the back of my mind. So we're already on our way out of town, which is towards the shop. So we drive to the shop, and I realized that I don't have a key for the shop, and my key for the shop is locked in the shop. And we've been pulling super long nights, like none of the guys slept last night. So Oscar and Kyle are both at home and they're not answering their phone because they're asleep. So I've got no way to get into the shop to get access to Oscar's Mustang, and I also have no tools. So we headed back, we went home with the few tools that I had. I ripped everything apart. I found that we had a blown fuse that was a specialty 3-prong fuse. Ran to the auto parts store, they had one box of those fuses. Got all of those. The stereo kept blowing fuses, so I looked for the short. I eventually found out that the circuit board that we had modified and cut short was bumping into the screen, and that was creating a short circuit from the screen surround to the circuit board. So I insulated the crap out of that, and that should work permanently. I've got one fuse left just in case. We were able to get it and get on the road last night and make it out there to Pendleton. So the route that I decided to take, I just got tired of driving I-5 south through California so much, so I wanted to do this one, and it's east through Idaho, and then once you're in Idaho, east is about Boise, you start heading south, and then south through Nevada. I've never done this drive before, and the mountain passes are a little more intense than I had thought. We got a good deal of snow on the last one. Luckily, no ice on the ground and no more snow on the road itself. It's got me mildly sketched out. But we're just gonna see how it unfolds as we start cruising along and getting a little bit further down the road what we're gonna run into or try and avoid or whatever. Okay, so we've been cruising for a while. We are 475 miles down on the trip. Did our second gas fuel up. Things are going good, but I started running some numbers and we've got a bit of a ticking clock to fight against. I don't know why, it's always something. Earlier today we went over a mountain pass, but we did it at like 11 a.m. and it wasn't that bad. The snow had melted, but it was actually snowing down on us. There's snow around the ground. That mountain pass wasn't that high. The West Coast right now is going through a bit of a cold snap. There's a huge mountain pass between where we are right now, close to Twin Falls, Idaho, and, well, where we're trying to get to, Vegas. We got to go through one. And I had originally planned on trying to stop there tonight. See, the goal is to not be driving at night because I really don't want to risk hitting a deer. You got to realize there's a ton on the line. Like all the hard work that we put in, all the long nights and everything is all on the line. Two things that could go wrong. One, we could break down and not be able to get on a tow truck or fix it in time to get to SEMA. If you show up late, you lose your spot and it's gone. The other is we can demolish the car by crashing it or hitting a deer. So I've been trying to travel during daylight, which we failed last night, and we're going to fail again tonight, and make it there on time. So what I found out though is with this mountain pass being where it is, we have to push through the whole thing tonight. We can't stop short of it. If we stop short of it, then we have to get started in the morning so early that none of the snow will have time to have melted off if we're going to make it to SEMA on time. So we have to push through it tonight, get to the other side of it, and then we can get a hotel or something and push on to Vegas the next morning. And that way we can wake up as early in the morning as we need to give ourselves plenty of safety net to try and get to Vegas. Right now, our ETA for the mountain pass is 9 p.m. I really don't want to be much later than that. Temperatures are just going to keep dropping. It's like almost a 7,000 foot elevation mountain pass. Just really hope it's not covered in snow. So we're putting the hammer down. We're just literally only stopping to refuel and go to the bathroom. And we're going to try and get down there as fast as we can. Basically turning the car south now, bombing it down. We're not going exploring abandoned houses. Yeah, but it's not ours. It's gated. I mean, yeah, it really easily could be. I started getting sleepy on the old road here. We are just by Twin Falls. We're about to turn to go south. Figure I'll do some jumping jacks, give you guys an update on the car. It's dirty. It's getting dirty. Oscar made a point. The horse emblem should not be there to stay. What, Chelsea doesn't like it either? Okay, so I'm gonna try and get that off. It was covering the lock hole that I did not successfully fill with a review camera once we switched to stereo that didn't have it. Anyways, it's a long story. And I was on the phone with my mom and came to the realization that we really need racing stripes on this thing. I was thinking like the body needs some way to be broken up a little bit, and adding the different colored wheels really helped with that. But the body lines aren't being accentuated enough. It looked actually better in primer than it kind of does in paint because the paint is hiding a lot of the body lines. Well, right now the sun's doing a great job of showing them, so it looks wonderful. But we need racing stripes. So I made some calls. Racing stripes is a thing that you can do at SEMA, before SEMA. It's not against the rules. I'm gonna try and figure it out. We should get some racing stripes on before the show. Maybe even some GT500 stuff. Although it's not a real GT500, so I kind of feel bad. I don't know if maybe we should do like a GT500T for tribute or something. But I think that's the next mod that I really want to do on this thing. Okay, like 20 push-ups and then I gotta hit the road. Welcome anybody from Idaho's Department of Transportation or Street Management or whatever the hell it's called is watching, I think Idaho just won the, just topped the list for me of worst roads. I drove all the way across this country, back, up and down, a lot of stuff. California usually wins. These days, holy crap. See this? This is on a highway that's supposed to be 60 miles an hour and you can't even manage it because there's so many massive level changes. I swear I just hit like a 3-inch level change going 60 miles an hour. Luckily that frame rail is the lowest thing, lower than our side skirt. So we kind of bounced right off of it. But I'm supposed to be on this road for 200 miles and this is miserable. Might be able to tell from the lights, we finally made it into Nevada. Second across the border, it's just all casino. Oh, how badly I wish we could pull over and hang out at Cactus Pete's for a little bit. Cactus Pete's Resort and Casino. It's freezing. We're not even to the mountain pass yet. We got 130 miles to go, so just about 2 hours before we get up to that mountain pass and see how it's doing, but it is super cold right now. Got to fuel up one more time. We'll be back on the road. Oh, and yeah, this road sucks. It's like, there's 1,000 deer warning signs. It's this one out here. I'll tell you what one it is on the screen. There's 1,000 deer warning signs and no dividers, and it's miserable. It's keeping me alert though, keeping me awake. All right guys, we made it to the top of the mountain pass. Turns out, not a mountain pass at all. It's very high up. But like this whole area is really high up. We're at 6,300 feet of elevation. It's cold, it's really cold, but it does not look like we're gonna have any problems with moisture. So we found a liquor store. OGs know what time it is. I can't remember the name of this segment, if it's a weird hotel liquor review or hotel weird liquor review, because it's not a weird hotel. I mean, actually it is a weird hotel. We are on a road trip and that means it's everyone's favorite time, weird hotel liquor review. Anyways, if you're new to the channel, when I travel and I go to new places, I go to a liquor store, buy all the weird stuff I haven't seen, and then I test it and give you guys a review. It is both informative and entertaining. This is a Monaco Mai Tai. Tastes like crap. I give it a 5 out of 10. Chelsea has requested to join the fun. This is a twisted shot of the Pussycat variety. Cheers. Chelsea, what do you give it?
Fire.
She gives a fire out of 10? So fire.
No.
We give this a fire out of 10?
Not that kind of fire.
Chelsea picked this one out. This is a Marble Rita. I don't know what the whole deal about marbles is. It's an ultra premium cocktail in a can. I can smell the premium in it. That's disgusting. That is nothing like a margarita at all. If you see this in the store, avoid it like the plague. I give that 2 out of 10. I would only drink it if you paid me. I bought this purely because of the can. Neon Burst Hard Drinks Grape Blowout. 8% alcohol. Grape Blowout. Here we go. Neon Burst Grape Blowout. Not bad at all. Yes, my hands are still totally stained from the build. I hate every year before SEMA, I get something on my hands that cannot be washed off. This time it's black stuff with super glue on top. I'm just a disgusting human. Is it like 24 hours since we finished the build? It's not even been that long. Little, like, yeah, 30 something hours since we finished the build. It's actually not finished yet. We gotta get racing stripes on there. That's not too bad. If you like grape soda and just wanted to drink grape soda, okay. Another twisted shot here. This is the Buttery Nipple. That was good. I think it could have been better. It's got a good butterscotch, but the cream, it doesn't really go very well with it, but not bad. Next we have Crown Royal Peach in a can. It's they went above and beyond with this can. It's textured. Little can ASMR there for you. It's flat. It's totally flat. I thought it'd have carbonation. I'd put some carbonation in this. I could see actually legitimately drinking that. I'd give that a 7 out of 10. 7 or an 8. All right. Last is Old Smoky Butter Pecan Moonshine. This adorable little jar. Save this jar, put nuts and bolts in. Oh gosh, I can't open it. Chelsea, you open this for me? Oh my god, it's actually not gonna open. That won't wake up anybody else. All right, I got it. Strong, 30% alcohol, but tasty. We'll see how that hits. I haven't drank in like 3 weeks. We've been super focused on the builds and I've been living at the shop. Cheers. Best beer in the world. So far road tripping the car has been really fun. I think it's a great thing to do. It's so much fun, and it not only proves to, you know, people that, hey, your SEMA build works and it runs and it's good, and you could find like the little small things that you should fix and tweak and stuff. I've got a small mental list of like really small things that I want to change. But it is really stressful because you work super hard and get as much done to make the best vehicle you possibly can. I mean, theoretically, somebody could work their entire life on a vehicle, right? So you gotta set a timeline, you work up until that timeline, and then you go, right? So we set aside 2.5 days to do a 16-hour journey. One thing has led to another, to another, to another, and I ended up driving at night way more than I wanted to. We saw a lot of deer on the road. I was basically just tailgating semi-trucks thinking, oh, well, they'll just splatter a deer and it won't destroy our build. But the thought of doing all that work on a build and having it all just go to crap because of an animal, or we could hit the road tomorrow and have a breakdown. By the time I could get a AAA or a tow truck or whatever, and make it to SEMA. Chelsea thinks that's a knock on wood moment. I don't think you knock on wood for those. You let me know in the comments what you think. Anyways, just in case. So it should be like a 4-hour drive tomorrow, and we'll be in Vegas. So we could leave with like an hour gap, but then if we break down, could we get a tow truck in time? Could we make it to SEMA in time? Who knows? So it's like, what do? Do we give ourselves like 4 hours of extra time, 3 hours of extra time? It's really weird. And the other thing is the reality of knowing our team. We don't get much sleep leading into these things. And I've been at it with very, very, very little sleep. So it's tough. So I don't think I'm gonna be road tripping cars to SEMA anymore. And I will absolutely never take this route that we took. I'm gonna show it on the screen here. If you're in the Northwest, don't go this way to Vegas. That route sucks. And we have 200 more miles of it tomorrow. I'm gonna get as much sleep as possible. I'm going to sleep right now. Probably gonna wake up at about 7 a.m. and we're gonna hit the road. It is gonna be like 24 degrees Fahrenheit outside. It's pretty cold. But if my predictions are right, there shouldn't be much moisture, so we should be okay. Good morning from Ely, Nevada. It is 24 degrees outside, so it's 10 degrees below freezing. But it doesn't look that bad, and honestly, it doesn't feel that bad. Let's make sure the car made it okay through the night. I always feel weird parking situations like this. Yep, still looks great. Okay, we're gonna load up. We gotta hit it to Vegas, 200 and something miles as fast as we can. 4 hours, I think. Let's load up and get on the road. We found some good canyons. Carving up the canyons at 80 miles an hour. I'm so happy. I kind of just realized that I haven't got to drive any of these body swap cars for super long distances. I can't wait to get the white one on track. That's the place where that one belongs. But getting to carve up canyons in the middle of nowhere on the way to SEMA, we're like 150 miles outside of Vegas. This is pretty cool. On a giant truck in front of us. This means that we officially made it on time and drove the car into the SEMA check-in. Now we just gotta get checked in and they take us to our spot. I did see a little bit of unfortunate damage due to road trippage in the front. I'll show you once we get in our spot. Well, this is really nice. So Optima does this promo thing here. I guess it's for everybody that shows up, and you can pull the battery out of your car, get a new Optima battery, and they give you a battery charger. I didn't hear any catch to it. So, I mean, we work with Optima already, so this is like a win-win, but it's pretty cool. They're helping me, and we're gonna get a brand new battery. It's really nice because that battery had sat, well, after we bought the car at auction, it sat in the car for several months, got charged up once or twice, but it just wasn't 100%. So this is cool. We're gonna get a brand new 100% battery. So shout out to the guys at Optima. We got our brand new battery, and we are chilling in line. This lot is normally totally full. If you're curious at all how the load-in goes for the featured cars, our car is considered a featured car. We got the really awesome outside space that I'll show you. Anyways, so usually this whole thing is packed and there's all these grids and there's all these cars all lined up and then they send them. They're doing a great job of loading in today, and they don't have people like us that like come here and break down or come with broken cars like last year. So last year we were working on the car over there in the parking lot literally until this lot closed, and then they just towed us into the show. So anyways, we're just chilling in line. Once there's a few more cars ready to go, then we get a escort that takes us around through the South Hall and through into our spot. And I've got something pretty cool figured out here. Well, this isn't nearly as exciting as I thought it would be. I can't play the audio because it'll get us demonetized. and you can't really see the video very well, but we got Harry Potter on the infotainment center. I love October, I love fall, I like Halloween. I always marathon all the Harry Potter movies right before SEMA. The guys this year voted for South Park instead. We tried to watch all of the South Parks. We watched 20 seasons of South Park, which is quite an impressive amount of hours that means we were in the shop. So we're firing up the Harry Potter marathon now. The Eagle has landed. So this is our spot at SEMA, right in front of Central Hall. It's my favorite spot in the whole show because pretty much everybody walks right out of the hall. And then, ta-da, there's my car. So we've got a lot more stuff to do, but as you can assume, we're pretty tired. We're ready to get a nice dinner and relax a little bit. So today's Saturday, and then there's Sunday is gonna be a relaxed day and edit and put out an episode. Monday, we're gonna try and get the vinyl stripes on, come out here and do some repairs to the car, vinyl stripe the car, and anything else that I wanted to do, like paint rivets and small stuff before the show. The show opens on Tuesday. Let me show you the only damage that I know of that we caught on the trip. Obviously it's a lot dirtier, but when you look right here, you can see a little crinkle right there. And well, I wiped the dust around, but there's a little crinkle right there. They're not too bad, but what happened was basically I was doing about 90, 95 miles an hour on that last 2-lane road that I told you about that I really didn't like, and a really big semi with a full load came the other way, and it kicked up a ton of wind under the hood and bent basically the hood on the hood pins. Not something that we were expecting to happen. We've never ran one of these aluminum hoods, and it just doesn't have it in it to be strong enough. You can see there's also a little bit of like distortion around the back pins. So this aluminum hood is just not long to live on this car. It's just not gonna be strong enough for the daily driver anyways. But the biggest thing is trying to fix these dents. I think I can fix them though, just using dentless removal techniques. I'm pretty confident I can make it look a lot better before the show. Even with that though, it's not super noticeable. So it's one of those things, man. You do your best, you work as hard as you can, you get the car to the show, and after that, some of this stuff is just out of your hands. So we built a badass car, but it had to get here somewhere. It could have been on transport. That might have happened, might not have happened. I could have picked a better road. You know, these things happen. I'm just happy we didn't like smash into a deer at full speed or anything crazy like that. So I'm stoked. We're here. That's a load off my back. All right, guys, it's Monday. We're back at the show and we're gonna start cleaning up the car. We've got vinyl to do, racing stripes. Gonna get a bunch more stuff done to this thing before the show. First thing I'm gonna go after is looking at our dents in the hood. I'm gonna do some paintless dent removal here. Unfortunately, I don't have any cameras that I can shoot any time lapse with or anything right now. So I'm just gonna have to give it a shot and show you guys how I do it. All right, well, I got them elevated back up. I kind of popped the dents out. There's still a little bit of kind of creasing and stuff. But overall, it is a lot better. I don't have like a full paintless dent removal kit, but in the long run, this hood is never gonna work on this car anyway. So good enough for the show is good enough. We're gonna go ahead and start cleaning up the front now so we can get ready for the vinyl wrapping. The final amount that we ended up traveling for the road trip just to get here is 1,202 miles over 19 hours. It's pretty incredible. We averaged 27.5 miles to the gallon. That is way better gas mileage than I would have ever expected, but cool. So next up, we're gonna give it a cleanup and then we can start focusing on the little bits. Oh, also I'm working on changing the suspension. I think Tavares has a jack I can borrow. So whenever that frees up, I'll be changing the front suspension a little bit. But cleaning now. Tavares brought me a jack.
Yeah, and you brought a car.
I brought a car. You brought 3?
I brought 3. Yeah, well, I mean, 2 of them don't run, so it doesn't count.
Okay.
But
disqualified. Officially disqualified from SEMA.
It's okay.
It's you. It's Rob Dom. Who else is disqualified? No, I'm kidding.
Every and basically 75% of the people here.
Me last year with 2 of my cars. Yeah, we did 1,200 miles with this just now.
Driving it?
Yeah, we drove it 1,200 miles.
Holy crap, man, that's awesome.
So we've got a lot of cleaning to do.
Yeah, I can imagine.
We are by no means done cleaning, but this is the first round of cleaning to get enough of the dirt and debris gone so we can throw on the racing stripe all the way across. So the idea would be we're going to do that, get the racing stripe on, and then everything will get ceramic coated, and that will help have a nice shine throughout the show. But it obviously looks so much better all cleaned up. I'm gonna go ahead and jump into the suspension. The front suspension is about 1 finger width taller than the back right now. We did that for safety to drive it over here. We didn't do any scraping in the front ever. So I'm gonna go ahead and lower it down 1 more finger width and should look a lot better. Got the ride height a little bit better. We're continuing to clean. Things are going well. We're gonna work on cleaning the interior, the inside of the glass. I'm gonna work on starting out on the racing stripes. So we're doing these racing stripes a little bit different. We did not vinyl cut them out. We're just doing ones over, we're doing a center dual stripe like the Shelby style. It's 10.5-inch stripe, 2-inch gap in the middle, running all the length of the car. I'm gonna go ahead and start finding dead center on all of the body panels and marking that out. That way we can start measuring the 2-inch gap and then measuring our 10.5 inches off of that. And then we're gonna lay vinyl, well, we're gonna lay a knifeless tape on the whole route, and then we're gonna lay vinyl over that, and then we'll just pull the knifeless tape and it will cut the vinyl into our racing stripes. It would not be a SEMA build, a BS4 build SEMA build, if we didn't push it to the limit. It is midnight. Fred is just taking off right over there. Remember, Fred, company he owns is Wrapco. He's an amazing guy. He's helped us out so much. If you're in the Pacific Northwest and you're looking to get your vehicle wrapped, he is an absolute pro. He does amazing work, as you can see on this vehicle. And he goes above and beyond to like do crazy stuff like this to help us out. He literally just left a conference, came here and wrapped all night to help us get these racing stripes on. And I gotta say, I don't think I could have done it without him. This was not something I was gonna get so nicely done without him being here. I can't wait to see how it looks in the daylight. So tomorrow the detailer is coming. He's gonna clean this thing up first thing in the morning, get the rest of it, because we didn't have glass cleaner. So for things like glass cleaner we've got our Avalon King ceramic coating that he's gonna apply to the vehicle as well. We didn't have tire shine, so a lot of these things we just needed the detailer to take care of. The way it works at SEMA is I hire a detailer to come out every single morning and clean the vehicle over and over and over again, because there's drifting that goes on over there, kicks up a lot of dust, a lot of debris, and the detailers kind of hang out throughout the show, and they'll come by and wipe down the car and clean it off. So it looks its best throughout the entire day while I'm off doing other different events and signings and stuff like that. So let me just show you a little bit though about the racing stripe. It comes down. We decided to do something a little unorthodox and leave the back panel blacked out. Oftentimes people wrap into the back panel. I did not do that. I was in between on the rear bumper. A lot of people, when it's painted, the rear bumper is paint matched, you do fill in the rear bumper, so we did do that. And then we went down on the bottom. So the only unorthodox thing we did was leave out the back panel, and I like that decision. So I'm happy with that. And the only thing that we forgot to do was paint the rivets in the back. So that might be a... Wait, Chelsea, did you paint all the rivets? Yeah, we forgot to paint the rivets, so that might be a tomorrow evening project, or we might just not do it.
I don't think we need to do it.
Little silver accenting never hurt anybody. So we will come back tomorrow, and I'll show you guys this thing in the daylight. All right, guys, out here for day 2. Day 1, the response on the vehicle has been amazing. I realize I haven't shown you it in the light. We did it. I'm so happy with it. It's pretty cool. A lot of people come up to it and they just think it's a 67, which means we did our job very well. It's a little bit dusty. We are in between cleanings, but the racing stripe really, really made this thing pop. Tire shine really helped us a lot as well. Overall, it's just, everybody is so happy with it, and I'm very, very, very happy with it. And it came out really great. And the idea that we get to just drive this thing home, I got the trunk open right now because that's where I keep the beer, but it looks the part. I'm so happy with how this build turned out. And I'm glad we stayed up late to get those racing stripes on there. And when the sun hits that paint, it makes it pop. When we're in the shadows, it looks the black. And then when the sun hits the paint and brings out the bronze with the silver stripe, it really is a great contrast. I'm so happy. We got every single thing that we wanted to have into this build. We got it in the build within the time frame, running and driving, completed build to SEMA in such a tight time frame as well. It's a really, really cool thing. So the game plan for after this is we are going to continue road tripping this thing. We're going to hit it to Disneyland because that is the tradition. After SEMA, we'll go to Disneyland and then we will get it home. I'll be posting stuff about that on Instagram as well as probably on the second channel. But as for right now, other than using this thing, I don't see any more modifications, changes, anything like that in the next week or so. I'm not going to do any more stuff here at the SEMA show. It's so interesting how many people call this car an Eleanor, say it's the Gone in 60 Seconds car. Do remember, Shelby invented all of this stuff that you see on this car. Carroll Shelby is the king of designing on these cars, and what he made is absolutely amazing, and that's what inspired all of this stuff. None of it would have been possible without him. So I'm super happy to be here and just bring a tribute to the boss man himself. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys on the next one. Peace!